Welcome everyone this fine week of January 15th, 2018. I am Katie.
I'm Julie.
And this is Reimagining the Magic, episode 12. This week we're going to be talking about Disney video games, but first we'd like to thank everyone who's been following us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, offering feedback, and has been watching and listening to our content. Thank you. And also our sponsor shout out to Breach. That is BREACH.TV, your new home for music, podcasts, videos, and more. We upload there as well as other places, and we say from our own experience, our podcast has been doing very well on Breach, and Breach, there is no minimum number of video views or subscribers to be able to qualify for ad revenue. You can literally set up an account, upload a video, and start monetizing, which has been great for us, because in December, we've made money, and we're starting to make money in January. Yay!
Woohoo!
So thank you, Breach, and definitely join today. Again, that is BREACH.TV. It is 100% free to join, and definitely check it out, especially if other platforms like YouTube and such haven't been so kind to you and your content.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we'll get started now.
Actually, before we get started, I do have a little bit of Disney news for the parks. Rumor has it they will be retiring the talking Mickey Mouse that they use for one of the meet and greets.
What?
I know, right? I always thought that was so cool. I didn't actually see it while I was there, but I saw videos of it, and I was like, that's amazing. But apparently it's confusing to the kids because then they think that it's the real this is the real Mickey, and all the other Mickeys aren't real, and it kind of ruins the magic. So that's just a rumor, but it's been reported by several cast members. So
that's sad because I know so many kids who, when like Mickey can say hi and say their name, it makes it extra special.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, just watching the videos, I've always thought that the talking Mickey was amazing, and I mean, really fun. Like some people are creeped out by it, but I think they did a really good job in making it very happy and personable. So
when I went in 2014, my daughter was still a baby. I remember taking her to meet Mickey at Magic Kingdom, and she was just like wide-eyed when Mickey was talking to her and the mouth was moving and the eyes were blinking. Just wide-eyed. And we went again in 2016, but because I was sick that trip, I will tell this story sometime in the future, this full story, but I was unable to go with my daughter to Magic Kingdom. Another family member of mine took her and said she was even more enthralled. She had met Mickey at the other parks, but she was most enthralled by the one at Magic Kingdom for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to say her name and say hi and talk to her. Kind of like how it is with the princesses, because they're, people, they can just talk to you.
Right.
And that's sad. That's a shame.
So yeah, I actually just saw that today. So I was like, oh yeah, we should get that in there.
Hopefully it's just a rumor, doesn't happen, because, well, it may be confusing for some kids. For so many other kids, that's really disappointing.
Right. Even as an adult, I think it's disappointing because it really is cool to see that, like, to see Mickey blink, like it almost like Mickey is there. Like obviously there's still parts of it that are kind of fake, but it's so much better than just the non-speaking face character, in my opinion.
And it reminds me, they need to bring back Push the trash can, because Push was the best.
I don't know Push the trash can.
It was a talking trash can. It appeared in Tomorrowland. I saw it outside some of the other parks. If you got there before the park opened, before rope drop, Push would go around the crowds, and it talked to you, and it was a working trash can. You could literally put trash in it. And
How
not
funny.
And it would talk, and it would interact with you. I'm not going to give it away on here, but you can look it up online, the actual mechanics of how Push worked and how it was controlled, because Push was old. Like, I saw Push, like, in the early 2000s, where you'd think this kind of technology was impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But how they did it, it's like, okay, it's a little more obvious when you think about it.
Right.
But, like, Push with, like, if once Push heard someone's name, would, like, say their name, and it'd be really funny if, like, Push would, like, overhear someone's conversation, and then they would, like, drop trash on the ground, and be like, hey, Mary, pick up that can.
Yeah.
I know
That's funny.
I know you want to hurry on Space Mountain, but that doesn't mean you throw stuff on the ground.
Snarky trash can is snarky.
So, along with that, bring back Push. And there's a new thing that's, like Push, but it's more of a robot that I've seen video of at Magic Kingdom and Tomorrowland, but I don't like it. I like Push.
So that's our Disney news for today. It was just a little bit.
I've also heard that there's a rumor also that the tickets are actually going to be more expensive, even though at parks that at the studios have it's under construction.
Oh my God. I'm so tired of them raising the price. No, don't do this to me.
And the Skyway is back under construction. So that actually is news. It's back under construction. Hopefully it'll happen in time for Toy Story Land, which is still scheduled to come out summer this year, be open.
Hmm.
It does look almost done if you look up photos of it. It looks almost done.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what it looks like.
And then people just have to stare longingly at Star Wars Land. Well, as I said in our Star Wars review, I get to laugh maniacally if it opens and people are just not impressed.
Right.
So,
Well,
video game
let's get on.
time.
Yeah, let's get on to the main thing this week. We're going to talk about Disney video games because Disney has a long history of putting out tie-in video games with their products.
I'd say it started with kind of the Disney Renaissance.
Hmm.
So the 90s.
Definitely in the 90s.
We can't really speak for earlier because I never owned an Atari. I'm too young for that.
Yeah, and we didn't own any gaming systems for our family until the PlayStation 1 like travel came out. Like that's the one we had. So
I had the Nintendo. I had Super Nintendo. I had Sega Genesis. My brother had Sega Saturn. Then I had a Nintendo 64, PS1, Sega Dreamcast, PS2. And then I took a long break and then got a PS3. Took another very long break and got a Wii and an Xbox One. And that's all I have. I still just have a Wii and Xbox One now.
see, we've got the Switch and the PlayStation 4 right now. Growing up,
Disney Infinity. Oh yeah, also I had a Game Boy. I had Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, and then a Nintendo DS.
growing up, we had the PlayStation 1 and we had Game Boy Colors. Oh, fun fact, I had my Game Boy Color and I was not either given or able to purchase another handheld Nintendo system until I was given a 3DS for Christmas in 2013. So that's how far I jumped. I jumped from a Game Boy Color to a Nintendo 3DS.
It was weird for a long time. I just had like little access to game systems except for like my brother and family. But then I got like hand-me-down game systems from family members.
Hmm.
So when my brother got the Saturn, I got his Genesis
Right.
and his old games. So also this reminds me, Disney Infinity counts. That's relevant.
I've never played that.
We'll talk about that last because I have it and I play it with my kid.
So I think I'm gonna go and start all the way back, probably with. Gosh, did we get the? I guess we got the PlayStation first. Yes, we got the PlayStation
Wait,
first.
if we want to go in order of gaming console, I should talk to Sega Genesis.
That's true. See, we didn't have one of those. My grandmother had one though.
The Lion King game
Shockingly.
is legendary.
Oh, I know. So the only times I got to play the Lion King game where we were at some massive. There was some massive electronics store. I want to say in like McKinney or something in McKinney, Texas, when I was real little, and they had like an area for the kids to hang out while the parents shop, and they had a bunch of gaming consoles. My cousin also had it, so I got to play it at her house.
So, well,
Never made it past the second level.
I made it to like the third level with like young Simba and the Elephant Graveyard, but I could never get past it. If I wanted to see the rest of the game, I literally had to hand the controller to my brother and have him play for me.
Right. I think what was it? Was it Game Grumps? I think Game Grumps did a playthrough of it, and I just marveled at. Was it Game Grumps? Someone did like a thing over how hard Disney games were, and I was just marveled at how massively hard that game was.
Can we do a quick shout out to Game Grumps because they also did a playthrough of the Disney Princess game where you get to make for the Wii, where you get to make your own like Disney Princess character. And
oh my
if
gosh.
you have more than one controller and your kids play, you can actually help your kid play if they're really bad at it.
Oh, that's fun.
And they played it. So definitely look up the playthroughs. Look up, Game Grumps, Disney Princess, and you can watch it. It is not really kid-friendly. They make a lot of adult-level humor jokes, but it is very funny. And
there's a lot of poop jokes, too.
They give the game, they actually do give the game a lot, like a fair analysis. It's not just, oh, it's a kid's game, this is dumb. They actually give it its credit where credit's due.
Right.
So, anyway, playing the game, I just remember young Simba going through, and if you warded a bug or something, it would flip over.
Mm-hmm.
Or you warded the chameleon, it flipped over.
Yeah.
And then people, if you've watched, Drunk Disney when they did The Lion King by Practical Folks. The part where Simba is down in, like, the gorge and he's just roaring because Scar left him there? Mm-hmm. And he roared at that chameleon?
Yeah.
They made the comment, they're like, that'll flip him over in the Sega game.
Oh, I do vaguely remember that. You could roar at stuff and scare it. Weren't there, like, porcupines or something you could roar at and scare it? I remember those.
Yeah, I was like, I think that, what is this, like, the 5th podcast I've done a shout out to Practical Folks and Drunk Disney?
Yes.
Just
go, I'm not keeping tally, I promise.
Just go watch them, people. They don't have enough subscribers for the quality of content they put out. It is so good. They put so much work into it, and it's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that Sega game was so challenging. I remember playing. I must have been at least 6 because the house I had the Genesis in was when I was already in elementary school. I don't remember. I played video games before then on like a Super Nintendo, but I have a very vague memory of that.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think the Aladdin game was on the Sega Genesis, which I think that was the better of the two.
On Sega Saturn, it was like the best.
Saturn, okay.
The Saturn, it was the best because it had more of the 3D graphics. That's when they started incorporating more 3D computerized stuff in gaming consoles was the Sega Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
And flying on the magic carpet out of the Cave of Wonders was so impossible. My brother, who is many years older than me, we have at least 10 years difference, had a hard time doing it.
Wow. See, I never played that one, so I only know about that one through videos and internet stuff.
I have a very vague memory of it. I remember being next to impossible and everyone complaining about how next to impossible it was. So, do we want to move on to the PlayStation?
Actually, I just remembered. I don't remember if this was for the Super Nintendo or if it was for the Sega Genesis, but there was a Goof Troop tie-in game for one of those two, and I used to play it. My mom had a friend that we would go over and visit. She had 2 sons, and they had one of these gaming systems. So I remember I used to beg them, "Hey, can we play the Goof Troop? Game?" And it was so bizarre, but it was so ridiculously fun.
I vaguely remember that existing. I remember there also being like a DuckTales game and a Darkwing Duck game. They tried.
Surprised me. Darkwing Duck would probably make a super fun game. Like, I'd play that now.
So, PlayStation's where things started getting interesting with Disney games.
Mm-hmm.
Because they merged with a very famous gaming company called, back then they were called Squaresoft.
Mm-hmm.
Best known for Final Fantasy.
I didn't know they merged with them. I just thought they worked with them
It was a partnership, I guess.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, wait a sec, what?
It was a partnership, but still, it's like, apparently the rumor is the idea for the games came from a conversation between a Disney employee and a Squaresoft employee in an elevator. That's the rumor of how that game came to be.
How funny. I remember the very first time I saw an advertisement for Kingdom Hearts, and I thought, what am I looking at? This looks so stupid, the animation styles don't mix. And I've actually never played the games. So I think that initial first impression may have actually pushed me away from the franchise. But I was also a little weeb. And so it was like, why are you mixing my Disney with my Animu? Like, was my reaction.
I have always really been terrible at games. So Kingdom Hearts is one of those games where I would try to play, but I would give up pretty easily and then have my brother play for me and watch him. Which still worked out because I still got to enjoy the story and stuff of the game, but I didn't get frustrated and break the TV or break the console.
Right, and now I've been told I am missing out by having not played the games, and really I just haven't had the opportunity to over the past several years because I would love to play them now, but I just haven't. I need to start with 1 and go forwards, and I don't have anything that can play the old games right now.
Looking back on the there is a way you can play them on your PC, matey.
That sounds like a lovely. That sounds like a lovely observation there. Arr.
There's a way to work for it to play on the PC if you know where to go.
Follow the map. X marks the spot. Arr.
Just contact your friendly Jack Sparrow.
I've got a Barbossa. Does that count?
That does count. Barbossa probably help you out. There is a there is a pirates level. I think it's either there. I think there's one in the second game. I know there's
You're
going to
supposed
be
to say
one.
it's in two. It's in two because I remember when two came out. I was in high school and I was obsessed with Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's probably going to be back in the third one too.
Because that's what we need.
There,
More Johnny Depp in all of
well,
everything.
there's also going to be a Tangle level.
Oh my gosh, Tangled.
I remember the first one. I got really confused because I was playing this anime kid, and then the Heartless thing popped out. I'm like, what's going on? Where's the Disney?
Right.
And it's been a long time not being Disney. Then all of a sudden, Donald and Goofy show. I'm like, okay, it's kind of Disney. It was kind of weird. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think that was my initial reaction to seeing the poster art for the because it was in the back of a Disney adventure thing. What, like 2001?
So,
I think it was something like that.
I was in like intermediate school, and I was playing at my house, and my brother would play it with me and be like, "You are really bad at this." I of all the games, I think turn-based roleplay games are like the worst for me, and then regular roleplay games are the worst for me. I am bad.
I like beat 'em ups. Like Breath of the Wild has been like an amazing game for me because I just run around and beat the crap out of stuff.
I wish more games existed where there's no consequences, and pretty much the only games I do are the ones for like little kids. So I'm really good at games for like little kids. But
All right,
so Kingdom Hearts is. I have to say they invented some good characters for Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Like
they really did.
We're people who go to anime cons, and we've seen so many cosplayers from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah, so many. I actually personally know one who actively cosplays Kingdom Hearts.
All of the Axels and all of the Roxases after 2 came out.
Yeah, she cosplays Aqua, I think is her name. I want to say that's her name.
Okay, I have no idea.
Right. I just know she's from Kingdom Hearts.
It's a game where you have to be a fan of RPGs and a fan of Disney for it to work. If you're not a fan of either, it's not a game. And it's not an easy game. Like, it's not a game I'd recommend you give, like, your elementary school student to play.
Right.
It kind of goes above their head, even if they love Disney. But also, for the PlayStation, came out more games, like Lilo and Stitch.
I missed that one, too. I did not play that one.
Really? I don't remember much of it, because I remember I probably couldn't get past, like, the first few levels, because, again, I was bad at games. Very bad at games. I remember this level where, like, you're riding, like, you know how Lilo has, like, your tricycle? And you, like, ride the tricycle and, like, collect things and avoid her bully friends.
How funny.
I remember that level. I know it got farther, but I could not get very far. And that was, like, one game my brother was like, I'm not going to help you. This is dumb.
There were 2 Disney games that we owned for the PlayStation, and those games were Toy Story 2, which was surprisingly good. I mean, I really enjoyed. Sometimes the mechanics got a little weird, but I really enjoyed playing that game. It was a lot of fun. There were levels I played over and over and over again, just because I loved the level design. But I just thought they looked really cool.
How would a game like that was it like the game within a game? Like, because in Toy Story 2 they started playing that Blood Lightyear game at the beginning of the movie.
No, it was actually you went through levels based on different parts of the movie. And some levels that weren't like when like you had to. Gosh, I'm trying to remember what happened in Toy Story 2. It's been so long since I watched it. So Woody disappears, and so you go through a few levels like trying to get to the old guy's apartment, and so like
to get to the chicken guy.
Right, and so you go through like a level where you start out in Andy's house, and you have to like go through like there's a level like there's an area in the backyard, and there's a bunch of mini games there. There's stuff inside the house. You have to collect tokens to move on. It's actually like if you think about it in the most basic sense, it's actually very reminiscent of some Mario games in the fact that you have to collect the tokens and by completing certain little mini games. And so like one of the mini games I remember was like Whack-A-Mole, but it was with toy soldiers.
Huh.
And then, oh gosh, what else was there? There was like a racing game where you had to race RC, the remote control car. But you were Buzz and you were running, so you had to like figure out. I remember it took us forever to figure out how to beat that. And that's the part of level 1. Like, it took us forever to figure out how to beat that stupid thing. And my one of my favorite levels, I want to say it's level 3 or 4. I want to say it's like the alley or something. I love the alley. I love the design of the alley. I love all the things you have to do in it. It's the first time they introduce a lot of like a ton of almost vertical platforming, which is really fun. Um, and like Slinky Dog's in the level, and I love the boss. The boss name was Slime Time, and it was just this like it almost reminded me of Slimer. Like, and he's just sitting in he's like this glowing thing of slime that's sitting in a garbage can, and you just have to like shoot him with Buzz's laser. Oh, it was so fun. And then like they had just lots of creative puzzles to solve. Like once you get to the apartment, there's a level where you have to get to one of the tokens. You have to raise and lower the water in the bathroom to get to the very top, but you have to do it like a certain order to do it. And it took us a while to figure that one out. But yeah, you go all the way through the storyline. There's clips, like little cutscenes from the movie to kind of introduce you to like where you're going next, and like one of the final levels is the airport, which was really fun. Tarmac was one of my favorite levels. But it was just a great game. And it was done by Activision. So I mean, like I know that Activision doesn't have a great reputation in the gaming community anymore, but it was a solid game for a kid. It was very enjoyable.
Oh, I had the Lizzie McGuire game for the Game Boy.
Oh my gosh, how was that?
It was very interesting because basically you were Lizzie and you had to get through regular school days, and it was kind of one of those. You probably see them advertised on like your phone. It's like one of those kind of story games where it's like your choices determine like where you go and what you do. It was one of those.
Huh. I never played any of those.
But I remember my grandma got me that one.
We also had the Toy Story 2 game for the Game Boy Color, which was interesting because it's nothing like the PlayStation game. They're very different games. And it was honestly kind of boring. It was such a horrible game compared to the PlayStation one. The PlayStation one was so nice and well presented. The Game Boy Color one just sucked. It was so bad. It was so boring.
Wait, I think this counts as a game. It was a CD-ROM thing. I think it was called Walt Disney World Explorer 96 and 98. And you could go through like the different parks and click on rides and learn more about them and learn more about stuff. And just to date it, I remember clicking on Test Track and it wasn't opened yet, and they just showed you like a CG demo of the ride, and it's just like classic late 90s, early 2000s computer generated graphics.
Oh my gosh.
And it's hilarious.
It's Hover. So what you're telling me is it's Hover.
So look it up. People have playthroughs of it online where you can actually see and go through it. I like the music, and the reason I mention this is that part of our intro, that our little song, is a remix of the Future World theme, and how I got that was I ripped it from that game. Because I could not find an official release of that loop anywhere.
Well, if we're gonna include PC games in this, I had some Lion King stuff. We had.
Oh my gosh, yeah! I also had Hunchback and 101 Dalmatians. So yeah, we can have PC games too.
Right. So first of all, okay, so if we're gonna touch on PC games, growing up, we had the like animated storybooks, which had like all the songs in them, and like some of them you had like original songs and stuff in them.
Okay, yeah.
We had the 101 Dalmatians one, which I adored. Like, I absolutely adored that. And my friend had the Hercules one. But we spent the most time on 101 Dalmatians.
That game kind of creeped me out when I was a kid, the 101 Dalmatians game. Especially when you're in Cruella and you have to escape from Cruella's house.
Oh, that's a completely different game. That is a point-and-click adventure, mystery adventure, and I had that one too. And yes, it was totally creepy.
I remember playing that at my dad's house. I mean, like, Daddy, it's scary.
Well, I also had, is it Timon and Pumbaa's Jungle Games is what it was?
Or it was I had like that too! Oh my
right?
gosh.
Oh, I loved that game. Oh, the pinball. I was like pinball wizard.
Yes, the pinball.
And Bug Drop. I love Bug Drop. That's what
it's
my
called. God. The memories, the nostalgia.
Oh my gosh, the nostalgia hits hard. I loved Bug Drop. So Bug Drop was essentially Bejeweled for Disney.
I need this game. I need to R-Matey this game.
So, and then around the time The Lion King 2 came out, we had the arcade game one with Kiara and Kovu in it.
I didn't know they made the game for that.
Oh, it was so much fun. It only had like 5 games in it, but man, I was the queen of Conga Longa. Let me tell you.
This reminded me, Kovu looks like if like when people on DeviantArt make original characters, he looks like someone's Lion King original
Right?
character,
Oh
not like
my gosh.
something that existed.
So being part of the Warriors fandom, I see a lot of those drawings, and I try to hold my tongue, but sometimes I'm just like, your cat can't have bangs.
I'm like, he looks like an emo lion. Like someone just introduced me. Like, this is my Lion King original character. He looks kind of like Scar, but he's not related. And he has a thing for Simba and Nala's daughter, and they're gonna get married.
Wait, weren't they related though? Wasn't Scar his uncle?
No, they made a point saying they're not related. Scar just took him in.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because Kovu was like total edgelord. Like Kovu is the Kylo Ren of the Lion King universe.
Oh my god! He has the scar. He's also the Zuko.
Kovu was Kylo Ren before Kylo Ren was cool.
Kovu was also Zuko from Avatar before Zuko from Avatar existed.
So yeah, we had the game for that, which was super fun. There were 5 games. There was a target game where you like use a slingshot to sling berries at stuff. There was Conga Longa, which was my favorite. You would go around like leading a line of animals, and you would try and pick up as many as you could of the same one in order. And it's basically Snake, but it had a little bit more of an objective to it. And so the more animals you got of the same in a row, the more points you got for that section. So I was the queen of Conga Longa. There was essentially like a air hockey thing, but you had to like break blocks, and you could get like you could pick up certain power ups and stuff, and you tried to break all the blocks away until you could start trying to get it into your opponent's like goal. So that was fun. Gosh, what else was there? There was another one. I'm trying to remember. There were 5 games. I just don't remember the other 2. Oh, one of them was like a maze run thing where you had to go through a maze and like avoid certain characters, and you had to cover the maze with all your paw prints. That's what it was. And you had to avoid certain characters to do it. So it was a little bit stealth, a little bit just ground covery, and there was a 5th game, but I, for the life of me, can't remember it.
Was there ever like a Disney version of Roller Coaster Tycoon? Because I know SeaWorld made a version.
I don't know. I didn't actually play Roller Coaster Tycoon growing up. I played Zoo Tycoon.
I played that too, but then the SeaWorld Tycoon came out, and look, I found my box for it. It's ancient.
Right. So yeah, those are the computer games we had that were Disney, and so many memories. I love those games.
So what's that underrated game you love from Disney?
Oh, okay. So we're hopping back to the PlayStation here. Super underrated game was The Emperor's New Groove. That was a surprisingly hard game. It combined there were stealth sections that made me want to rage quit.
I can't imagine why they'd make the game so hard, because that movie is so funny.
Right? Oh, the game is funny too. The game is very funny. But it's just, it doesn't hold your hand. Like, you are thrown into it, and there are certain levels that you just want to rage quit and get out. Now, granted, I was a kid when I played it, so my motor skills may be better. My fine motor skills are probably better now, and I might have a little bit more success. But man, like, there is a section where you have to creep past a bunch of guards, and if they spot you, you have to go back to the beginning, and it's just rage-inducing. And then there's one where you have to run away from the Panthers, and it's just so hard because it's that particular one is side-scrolling, and you have to like jump over all these obstacles, and like if you die or if you hit anything, the Panthers will get you, and there's just so much about it. It was hard. And I loved, it's just one of the things that I remember. I love the design, some of the design choices they made. Your lives were represented by his Wumpy. So you got 3 Wumpies.
That's neat.
But yeah, no, they really did a good job. Like, Even the like the Yzma roller coaster thing is like, actually I think it's two levels. There's two levels of it. And those were my favorites. I played those so much. I loved those. They were so hard too. I loved them. So yeah, very underrated game. If you can get a hold of the Emperor's New Groove for the PlayStation, give it a shot. It's a great game. The music is really good too.
One thing I've noticed in like recent years, there's less game tie-ins, at least for consoles, with Disney stuff. But there's stuff like mobile apps and that kind of stuff. And this is kind of like, I want to address especially parents directly with this. Be careful when you look up games from Disney movies and Disney shows on like tablets and phones and wherever else, even online, like especially those like flash game websites. Make sure if you're online on like a computer, make sure the site is a Disney site. It actually says Disney on it, and it's like, because Disney is disney.go.com. That's Disney's main site, so anything would be a spin-off from that. That's one that would have their games on it. Any other site that has a quote-unquote Disney game, like a Frozen game or something, it's not official, and you can't guarantee that the game doesn't have a virus on it, or there's plenty of, like, especially Flash games, especially when Frozen came out, that are not actually kid-friendly at all and are pretty horrifying. Several gaming YouTubers have covered this, and, like, they made fun of it, but they also said, like, this is why you have to be careful and, like, watch what your kids are doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same thing with looking up that kind of stuff on YouTube. You just gotta watch out.
Because PewDiePie like put up a video where he was playing some Frozen Flash games that like were just on a site clearly geared towards kids. Like one of them was like Anna's pregnant, and you have to help her deliver the baby.
I've seen that video. I was like, I had to think about it, but yes, I've seen that video.
And then the one where it's like spank Elsa's butt.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember that one.
So yeah, like definitely be careful because they'll look on the website like perfectly normal, kid-friendly games, but no. Like, I've seen some dress-up games where the clothing options for these princesses is, Not
for my kids.
And also be careful because there's a lot of knockoff games, especially for tablets and phones, that are not released by Disney. They're knockoffs, and you don't know if there's a virus. You don't know what else is in it, and you want something, especially because even if it's free, you don't know what's in the file.
Right.
And even if it comes from Disney, even if they charge you for it, it's worth it to have the assurance that it's coming from the right company.
Mm-hmm.
And you can always avoid microtransactions by going into the settings and making sure that, they need, like, if let's say your kid accidentally hits one for a microtransaction, it needs your approval to go through. They can't just rack up your phone bill.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and jump forward from the PlayStation. Now, we had a PlayStation 2, but I didn't play a whole lot of games on it because I was in high school at the time, and I was in marching band, just didn't have a whole lot of time for video games in general. And so I didn't play any Disney games during that time period. In fact, I think the only Disney game I have played since is probably Battlefront 2.
Yeah, I haven't played much since. So I was talking about the mobile games and stuff. The other day I was looking for a Moana game because my kid really likes Moana. I found one, but it's way past her cognition level. It's very like Farmville style.
Mm-hmm.
And she just doesn't have the capacity to do a game like that.
Right.
But it's the only one that is officially sanctioned by Disney. And I've been looking up, like, I can't find a Moana game for the Wii. I can't find a Moana game for the Xbox One. They just seem to have just given up on console games lately.
Which doesn't surprise me. I know a lot of their console games have been attacked for being pretty bad, so it doesn't surprise me that they would move away from that, especially with the rise of mobile gaming, gaming apps. They're so much easier and cheaper to make that,
and you can make more money with microtransactions.
Right. It doesn't shock me that they've moved away from that, just because I think the last few times they tried to do those movie tie-ins, they were just bad.
Like, you can play Fix-It Felix from Wreck-It Ralph, but only in an arcade in Disney.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But Disney made a thing for, I believe, for Xbox and PlayStation. Might have been for the Wii as well, Disney Infinity, which, if you're familiar with, like, Skylanders and Amiibos for, Nintendo systems, it's like that, only with Disney properties. And it's a game where, like, you can get the figure, you put it on the platform, and then the character would appear on the screen. You can play as the character. It's rated E for everyone. And I think the game is no longer being released. I think Disney canceled it.
Yeah, it has been discontinued.
So you could probably find it you can probably find a lot of it for super cheap. I know I did, and I know because my daughter's birthday is very soon, and I kind of banked on it. But I have a daughter who is a preschooler, and she loves to play that game, and she loves to play as Darth Maul for some reason. She likes to put his figure down, and then she'll take the Xbox controller. She just likes to make him run off cliffs and just into the void, and then he respawns, and then she'll do that for like 20 minutes, just that.
You think that goes away, but when we were stuck in a skirmish in Overwatch, we pushed my cousin off. She'll play McCree and like sit down, and we'll just go push her off.
But it's
I mean, I do it because she plays McCree and she takes my main. But you know,
but I mentioned like the games that like don't have consequences. That's a great example of a game that doesn't have consequences. It's great for kids because kids would feel bad if like they did something just because they thought it'd be fun, and then like they lose a life or something, or it's game over.
Right.
It's an explorative game, so the kids can like run around and have fun in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And and they can still like do things. They can still like do challenges and do quests and that kind of stuff. Or they can be like my kid and just run off the edge of the map and disappear into the void. She loves doing that, and I support her wholeheartedly. It's what she loves.
That's adorable.
But it's like just if you're gonna get games for your kids, watch it. Like try to play with them, or at least watch them while they play. Don't just sit them in front of something, whether it's a tablet or a gaming console, and walk away. Because you never know. Like there's Club Penguin. That was a Disney property.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of controversy over that.
Yeah, because people would go in and try and see how quickly they could get banned.
And like even then, like kids would get approached by adults on that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's not safe.
Nope.
And so you always got to be careful. It's like we want to think that even companies like Disney are doing their best to protect our kids and whatnot. But you want to know what your kids are doing, what they're playing, if they're enjoying it. Especially now that games on consoles are really multiplayer capable. They can go online and other people join them, meaning they can just like put on headphones and be in a chat. You never know.
Right. Now, I think there's one more thing I want to add, and I'm consulting the mighty Google real quick to refresh my memory about it. So the lovely world of MMOs.
Yes.
Disney had an MMO. Do you remember it?
Not really.
It was called Toontown Online.
I remember that name now. Okay, yes. I remember seeing ads for it.
Right, yeah. See, I never played it, but I remembered seeing the ads. I remember being absolutely horrified by the characters. But Disney did at one point have their own MMO game online, out there in the world competing with WoW.
It's like Disney does try their best with games. Some have been good. Like I'd say the games that came out in the 90s were good, and the early 2000s were decent.
Mm-hmm.
But then I guess after that, especially as other gaming companies like really got off and made really good, high quality games, they just cannot keep up.
Right.
They just couldn't do it, and it also got to the point where people assumed that, oh boy, a movie's coming out, there's going to be a game tie-in. Oh boy.
Right. Oh man. So here it says that Toontown launched on June 2nd, 2003 and was discontinued on September 19th, 2013. It existed for 10 years.
And people played it?
People played it.
Good lord. I played Fix-It Felix at the arcade, Space Mountain in Magic Kingdom. The gift shop kind of area, there's an arcade. I can no longer ride Space Mountain because it hurts my back. So while the rest of my family went on in 2014, I just sat in the arcade and I played Fix-It Felix. Which is a very fun game. They had a Disney Quest, which is gone now, R.I.P. But I think any of the Disney arcades, I think they even have it in some of the hotel arcades on the Disney parks. You can play it, and it definitely gives you the nostalgia for like the classic arcade games.
I wish I had seen gotten to go to arcades and stuff when I was younger. The closest thing I ever got was a Chuck E. Cheese.
There's a rumor that Disney is releasing a game to tie in with Wreck-It Ralph 2. That basically you can play Sugar Rush on your console.
Oh, that would be so fun.
There's a rumor that they're going to do that, even though technically in Wreck-It Ralph 2 it's about the internet. Mm-hmm. They realized that Sugar Rush was such a good idea in general. Mm-hmm. Why not make it a game?
Right. Well, I was going to ask you, what game do you wish they would make? But I'm pretty sure the answer to that is a Moana game.
There needs to be one. That would be such a good classic adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's like whether like going around the island to get started and collect what you need, and then on the boat getting to Maui, and then having
Right.
Maui as your backup to help you out.
That would be awesome. I would totally be down for that game.
Because there's obvious bosses, the Kakamura, Tamatoa, Taka.
That game is very much structured like, or that movie is very much structured like a video game.
And you could get like power ups from Grandma Manta Ray.
I love Grandma. Grandma Tala, I love you.
Or like, hey, can like help you get your health back.
Right. That would be, see, look, Disney, hire us. We'll make your movies, we'll make your games. We're cheap. Just just keep us happy, and we'll keep you happy.
Moana is just, it's an under, people, I love Moana. Why isn't it getting more love? Even though I see a lot of toys for it in Target.
Right? Oh man, that movie needs all the love. It needs games. It needs everything. Just give it to me. Just give it to me. My body is ready.
This is on topic of Moana, but on topic of games, but I need to bring this up. I got a Target for my daughter. They had a hey that when you squeeze its wing, it like does like the Drinky Bird like dunk, and it calls,
oh my gosh,
and then it screams. It goes book, book, book.
I want it. That's funny.
And it's amazing. I found it at my local Target. You can probably find it at yours. And it's great. It's like the best $20 you can spend on a toy.
Oh my gosh, I forgot a huge Disney Disney game for the Wii. Like massive. It was a huge deal. How could I forget this? Epic Mickey.
Oh yeah, I played that. I played a bit of that one and then the second one because Oswald.
Right? Yeah, I haven't actually played any of them. I watched my nephew play it over Christmas. But that was really the first time I was introduced to it. But man, Epic Mickey, that thing was massive when it came out. It was such a huge hit.
It needs a movie.
It really does. Because I'm aware of like what the plot line is, and so I would watch that.
I firmly believe like Mickey and those characters need to be in a theatrically released movie.
Mm-hmm.
It would do so well.
I'd see it.
But also from Ron, you also those chickens, those plastic chickens that you squeeze and they go those toys.
Yeah, the rubber chicken.
They also have made one of those of Hey.
Oh my gosh, I need it. I need all of them. I need to fill a room with them and then jump into that room.
So apparently, I imagine it's also Toys R Us. There is a small selection of stuff at the Disney store, of course, but go to like freaking Target. There's just Moana.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's probably all the time we got for today. Today was a bit of a short episode. Today is my marital unit's birthday, so we're going to do something special for dinner.
Yeah, and we recorded this on the later side because I had a weekend. We just could not work our schedules together because I was super busy.
Right. We both had house guests, so.
Yeah, but we will have another episode out next week, and we're hoping, cross your fingers, that we can have a special guest we'd like on the next one. We're in conversation with them. Hopefully they'll be able to do it. Yeah, we're really excited.
Really excited. And the subject matter is something that I am absolutely fascinated by, and that I was, like, when we started this, it was one of the first things I asked if we could do. So we're pretty excited to have it coming down the pipeline.
So everything's always in the links in the description. Please follow us on Facebook and participate in the group. Please follow us on Twitter. Please subscribe on YouTube. Please join Breach and follow us on Breach. Please, follow us on the RSS feed. Our audio only does go through Stitcher Radio. So if you have Stitcher, make sure you follow us on there so you get it as soon as it comes up.
Yeah, and if you like it, give us a rating. We will appreciate any feedback we get. So,
and definitely share with your family and friends who love like Disney, pop culture, and theme parks, because get the word out there. Support small people like us.
We're poor. Please help.
Please help. Send help. We just love Disney and theme parks and stuff like that a lot.
Here, send us to Disney.
Yeah, but put us in the box just to be like, Disney, look. Disney, look at us, please. Notice us, senpai.
Right. Notice me, senpai.
Alright, so that's it for this week. We hope you enjoyed this little one. That was a trip down memory lane. And tell us the Disney games you played and what you remember.
Yeah, I will look through all of those comments. Like,
definitely tell us.
Please tell us about them.
Okay, because you might show us stuff we didn't even know existed. It'll be like, dang it, why didn't we know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this has been Reimagining the Magic. I am Katie.
I'm Julie.
And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.